And here we have another video presented to you by Qmailtoaster.com. In this video, we're going to show you how to install Qmailtoaster onto a brand new CentOS 5.6 system. The system is set up very much like you would get a dedicated server or a VPS or virtual machine or slice of a server or whatever they want to call it this week from a hosting company. And this is assuming you have a clean Cent 5.6 installation with basically nothing else on there. We're going to be logging into this machine for the first time. In addition to this, we're going to use the qtp-newmodel script to perform the installation. I'll show you a couple little quick settings and things you need to change there pending the new release, depending on which version you happen to install, and we'll detail that out in this video and running. So what you're going to end up with is a complete and total full-featured email server, including POP3, SMTP, IMAP, POP3 SSL, IMAP SSL, submission ports, spam scanning, virus scanning, webmail, pretty much anything you can think of is rolled into this, plus some additional things. Want to go ahead and get the quick note out of the way in the very beginning here. If you're looking for help with this and you need some assistance installing, or you have some additional questions on configuring, or anything of that nature, down here we have miss downloads, support, and links. We do have a wiki where we've documented a whole lot of information already. If you don't find what you're looking for on the wiki, come over to the mailing list. This is the user mailing list. This is definitely where you want to ask your questions. There's a lot of users on this list that are more than willing to help you out. If you click on my name, you'll see that basically I come up and I tell you, hey, I don't do free support. Don't email me. Go ahead and use the mailing list if you're looking for some free support. And somebody on that list, maybe even myself, will answer your questions. And the other benefit of putting it on the mailing list is that's in a searchable repository, which is available here if you click on this link. And that way, if you ask a question on there, others can benefit from it as well later on in the future. So that all being said, let's go ahead and the website you're going to want to go to get the qtp-newmodel script, which is part of the Qmailtoaster-Plus package, is over at qtp-newmodel.com. Now, Qmailtoaster-Plus is basically an addition. It's a side package that you can install that includes a whole lot of additional scripts and utilities, and basically anything that myself or Eric Schubes or some of the other people that contribute to the Qmailtoaster-Plus package find useful in administering their email server on a day-to-day basis. We'll eventually throw it into this utility over here, and you can see all the extra things that are installed on here. So we'll be using the qtp-newmodel script to do the installation. So the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to get logged into this machine here. We'll get this over here where you can see it and blow it up just a little bit. Now this is a brand new installation. I'll go ahead and give you some of the stats real quick here. This is running in my virtual machine, so it's just a standard 32-bit installation. You can see it's CentOS 5.6. First thing, let's go ahead and get everything up to date on the packages. This is something I always suggest doing when you got a brand new install. Go ahead and update everything to the latest versions. As you saw rolling through there, we're getting a kernel update, and anytime the upstream vendor pushes out some of those changes, it's usually a good idea to get those installed. Especially CentOS, they're usually for security issues. They're not just thrown out there for willy-nilly add some extra features, that type of thing. We'll go ahead and we'll skip through to after the installation of all these packages to save on time. And now that we're back, I went ahead and did a reboot. I always like to do a reboot after getting a new kernel installed just to make sure everything's active. So let me go ahead and get this window a little bit bigger here for you. Now, one thing to note, the Clam antivirus package needs to have the SE Linux security turned off. And you can check this by running the command get enforce. And you can see here I already have it disabled. If it came up and it said permissive or enabled, what you would want to do is you would want to edit this file. And you would want to change SE Linux equals to disabled and then save the file. Once you've done that, you'll need to reboot to remove that. Now that, just want to make sure I got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get the Qmailtoaster-Plus package installed so we can begin our installation. Over here at qtp-newmodel.com, you can read a little bit of the history on it, how the package came to be, what it includes, a bunch of information on the utilities, so on and so forth. To install it, you just run this command here. That'll get us the package. That'll get us the repository, because Qmailtoaster-Plus isn't a repository. That way, if we make any updates or changes or anything like that, once we roll a new package out, it's just a matter of yum update Qmailtoaster-Plus. Now we're going to run the yum install Qmailtoaster-Plus command to get the package actually installed. Now, if you notice here, we've installed version 0.3.2-1.4.16. Now, that's important to note. If you're running this version or anything prior, you're going to need to do the additional steps that I'm getting ready to show you. If you're running any later version, then the changes should already be checked into the new package, and you shouldn't have to do all this. The first thing we're going to need to do is we've made some changes to the dependencies. So we're going to need to go back up to the top of the Qmailtoaster-Plus website. We're going to go to Browse the Source. We're going to go into the bin directory. And we're going to download qtp-dependencies, so click on this. That'll come up and it should give you the actual script that's being run. We're going to go all the way on down to the bottom so that we download in other formats. And here we're going to right-click, copy link location. And then we're going to go back to our Linux machine. And we're going to go into /opt/Qmailtoaster-Plus/bin. And we'll do a wget of the file. Let's remove the old script, qtp-dependencies. You can do this first, in which case you don't have to do the move qtp-dependencies.1 to qtp-dependencies without the .1. Okay, we can see that file there. See how it's in a different color? We need to go ahead and we need to chmod that. We'll do 777. And it's perfectly fine doing 777 because the first thing it's going to do is it's going to check to see if you're root. If you're not root, it'll go ahead and it'll bail out. That should be all we need to do for that one. Now the QTP or the Qmailtoaster-Plus package, you can do qtp-menu. When this comes up, it'll check to see if dialog's installed. If it's not, it'll go ahead and get that installed for you. But you can see all the additional utilities and scripts and extra things that are included here, as well as some command line options, which I'm getting ready to show you here, which is the qtp-newmodel script. Now remember this, where I came back in here and I did the download of the package, you do not have to do this if you're running the newer version of Qmailtoaster-Plus, but the older version you will have to do this. So we're going to type in qtp-newmodel, and this will get us started. It's basically going to come through. It's going to say, hey, we're going to, Qmailtoaster is an integrated distribution. We're going to install a bunch of packages. Then once it goes through a couple of the base packages that you absolutely must have in there to at least get SMTP and POP3 service up and running, it's going to ask you about the rest of the packages. And basically you want to answer yes, we need courier auth lib, we need courier IMAP to get some IMAP functionality. Auto respond, this is an auto responding daemon, yes we want that. Control panel toaster is a web control panel. Easy MLM toaster is a email list utility that's included with it. Qmail admin toasters for administering your domains. That's another web-based utility. Yes, we want to get that one. Qmail MRTG toaster is a statistical reporting on per user basis. Maildrop toaster is for some mail processing. ISO QLog toaster is also some statistical information reporting. Web-based, of course. Squirrel Mail toaster, that's our webmail. Naturally, that's web-based. Yes, we definitely want to get that installed. Spam Assassin Toaster. Hey, nobody likes spam, right? Well, actually, spam is kind of funny on occasion, but in this particular instance, we're going to install Spam Assassin because we do not want to get spam onto our machine. So we're going to say yes here. Clam Antivirus Toaster, yes, we're going to go ahead and install that because that's going to get some viruses out of there for us. RipMime, we need that to extract the files out of the MIME types or the MIME types out of the email payload to be able to check and scan those for viruses, so yes there. SimScan Toaster, that's the engine that actually calls and runs Spam Assassin Toaster as well as Clam Antivirus Toaster, so yes, we definitely need that one as well. VQ Admin Toaster, while this package, this utility is broken, it can get you into some problems. Read on the wiki about that. It does come in use, to come in handy when you need to basically recover somebody's password, because you can actually see their password using this utility. So we'll go ahead and we'll get that one installed. Once you say yes to all of these, it'll go through. It'll go ahead and it'll go through and it'll start downloading all of these packages for you from the mirrors that we have installed here. To save on time, we will go ahead and we will pause here, and when we come back, most of these should be downloaded and we'll begin the build process. Okay, now that we've downloaded all the packages, you see that the script continues to run through, and what it's doing now is it's installing all the dependencies needed. It's going to grab the basically all the Perl dependencies from the RPM Forge repo. Now, the RPM Forge repo is installed from this the qtp-newmodel script, but it is not enabled by default. qtp-newmodel will use it when it needs to grab Perl packages and some other packages that it may need, but the actual repository for RPM Forge will not be enabled by default. So if you want to install packages from there, you'll have to use the standard enable repo from the command line when you do that. If you don't have the base packages installed, this is the modification that we downloaded for the qtp-dependency script. It'll go ahead and it'll run through and install all the dependencies for you. These are needed to build the actual packages because the Qmailtoaster project distributes source RPMs, so we actually need to build those for our particular distro. We'll go ahead and we'll pause it here, and once it gets done installing all the dependencies, we will come back and build the packages. Now that all of our dependencies are installed, it's going to ask us if we want to do a union, FS, or overlay sandbox. You can say yes here. Basically what it's going to do is it's going to mount a kind of a linked version of our entire environment, and it's going to build the packages in there. While for the initial installation, not such a big deal. Later on, when you're doing updates, this thing can really come in handy because basically you can rebuild the packages off to the side in the little sandbox without affecting the mail server while it's in running production, so you don't have to take anything offline. And then once you're ready, basically when you're ready to install the packages and you're ready for your maintenance window, you only have to take it offline for as long as it takes to install the whatever package you're updating. So for like Clam Antivirus, you would be taking it offline for a maintenance window for about a minute to actually get that package updated. Other than that, there's no impact at all. So we'll go ahead and we'll say yes here. Like I said, it doesn't really hurt anything, doesn't cause us any penalties or anything like that. It'll go ahead and it'll install Fuse if you don't already have it installed. Now it's going to go ahead and it's going to go through and it's going to remove any old packages, then it's going to start building the actual tools. As it builds the packages here, we'll go ahead and we'll take a slight pause so we can break off into part 2. When we come back, it should be just about done building all of the packages, and at that time we'll go ahead and complete the installation.